Yeah, me too. Just mute my phone. Cool. So yeah, Red River Podcast, another episode. Yeah, we're gonna wing it, you know. We watched a bunch of shit. I wanted to get together. Originally, I think we wanted to talk about Together. We wanted to talk about weapons. And what was the
Hmm.
third thing? Do you remember?
Nope,
Oh,
I don't.
interesting. Because I know I
Oh,
said Nate.
maybe you suggested, and it's not as fresh in my mind as yours, but I
Oh,
could jump
Dangerous
in. But
Animals.
dangerous animals, yeah,
Maybe it was
that
those
was
three.
one. Uh, I saw Nobody too. I went to Jimmy and still a whole bunch of shit. So we can, you
A
know,
bunch of stuff. Yeah. I guess let's kick it off like with something that's fresh in my mind. I don't know if you watched Alien Earth. Did you watch those two episodes?
I have not watched it yet. I am gonna just not for lack of interest, just time.
All right, yeah. I will say that it's way better than I thought it was going to be. The first episode is like a really cool setup, and then when you watch it, just like the overall feeling, like I felt like I was watching the first movie. So I was kind of confused as to like where it fits in the timeline. I would have to look. I feel like it's after Prometheus and Covenant, so it might sit
Yeah,
like
they
after
play
that.
around with that shit a lot. Sometimes it
Yeah,
takes me a minute to be like, all right, where are we here?
yeah, for sure. But it was great. So like the first episode, really cool setup, and I'm like, okay, a little bit slow, but you know they're like character building and world building, and then the second episode feels like Aliens. You know, like just very action packed with a lot of cool stuff, a lot of Alien, a lot of Earth, a lot of just cool shit, man. So very excited. I think the third episode dropped, so I'm kind of in on that.
Who's at the helm of that? Anyone? Any name, big name, or
I don't know. I didn't really investigate. No, no clue.
and they're just putting out episode one a week, like they're doing that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So for Alien fans, I think it's definitely um it's worth watching because it feels like actual, part of like the lineage and stuff. So, sometimes these like properties like get thrown out there and you're just like I know when like the Friday the 13th thing comes out, we're gonna be like, yeah, this just is not like I don't know, like that prequel shit. And yo, shout out to Linda Cardellini for playing fucking like Mrs. Voorhees. Like that's cool casting, but like I said before, I just have no faith in A24 handling that correctly. So we'll see how that goes.
So it's made by A24, but Peacock, they still it's going to
Yes.
Peacock, right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
they
yeah.
they never collabed with Peacock. It seems odd pairing. But yeah, I don't
Uh,
know. Anything that takes this long to come out has a lot going against it, probably, and behind the scenes. And whether some of it's been publicized and shit with the showrunners and this and that and blah blah blah. It usually doesn't end up well the longer it takes to get this shit out. You know what I mean? But so the prequel, I mean, he dies. The mother works at the camp and
all
he
right,
dies.
spoiler
So
alert. Spoiler alert.
if you haven't got around to, you know,
Some people haven't watched the
um,
first movie yet.
so it's going to be Jason as a kid getting picked on and then drowning. Like, what can you do with a prequel of that? I don't get it. Like, I
I don't know.
don't.
I don't know.
There's some franchises you can a prequel. The Texas Chainsaw worked, seeing how that family got the town shut down and shit. There's a thing, a place to go there. Rob Zombie tried it with uh
Halloween.
Halloween, which wasn't great, you know. And then I think the Nightmare on Elm Street, which is one of the worst movies ever made, that remake. Didn't they played a little? Did they show a little bit of the parents burning him and shit?
I think so too, but I feel like, just like I'm ready for that frontier. Like I'm ready for these like mo these things that have like so many sequels maybe like try out like episodic like Netflix stuff, Peacock. Like I'm like ready to see what that's like. You know, like they did the movies, they all went to space, and now they've all been remade. So now I'm thinking like I don't know, like I'll take a 10 episode fucking season of Halloween or Friday the 13th just to, you know.
That's the move. Hit the prequel comes after space. That's like the goal, the rule of thumb.
Yeah, I think so. They're like, all right, prequel, remake, space. Now we're going to fucking
And
TV.
listen, I could talk shit like how I think it's gonna be bad. I'll be watching every single one. So
I'll be
whatever.
watching. Yeah, I'll be watching. You know what else is really good on FX? When did you fall off of It's Always Sunny?
Uh, I never really was into it,
Love,
honestly.
yeah, I
Yeah,
love.
I checked out a couple episodes. It didn't click with me. Everyone I know loves it. People who, sense of humor I share with. And then it kind of gets away from you. It's on so long and you just don't go back and try it again. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Yeah, to
What
me,
season are they in?
a 17, and
Wow.
I so like same thing with me. Like it's not for any other reason other than like I've seen, you know, maybe like the first 10 seasons or whatever, and they were all super fucking funny, super well written. And then through the years, like I would go back because the show plays like a comic strip. Like
Mm.
there is no like linear stories that go on in the season. There's not like I mean some do, but for the most part it's just like random shit. It's like, you know, the gang tackles the bathroom issues or whatever. That that fuck this what I love about the writing is they don't give a fuck. They exist in their own bubble. And it's funny that I mentioned that episode. There was that one episode where they tackle the bathroom issue when people were talking about like they don't want X, Y, and Z in my bathroom, whatever. And they were this episode, they're like, oh man, I forget exactly what it was, but it was just like they wanted to treat black people extra nice. They're like, you know, we feel bad that they have to use our bathroom, so let's give them their own bathroom. You know what I mean? And like the way they played it was just so funny. It was just like, yeah, it's like, you know, you guys don't want to be in here. We're like fucking filthy. So it's like, yo, let's just make a black only bathroom. That way, you know, they could have their own thing away from us so we don't have to ruin it. And then just they are so fucking funny, and the way they attack these like current issues is by the four main characters all having like some type of like opinion, you know, that is shared by like the universe, you know, and
Okay.
they all interact, and they all like you could all see like how stupid and funny all these like conversations are. Like just the new season, I've watched the first 7 episodes, unbelievable, right? So then this last episode they decide that they want to get be ready for prime time, and then they're like, you know what, they're like, we need to like appeal to more people, and like we can't be offensive and all this other shit, and they just start, you know, basically like it reminded me of like the studio episode when they were like doing the race relations. Did you
Okay.
watch, you remember that one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just very well written, very current, and they exist in their own bubble. Like they do whatever the fuck they want. There's no like they just exist in their own bubble. No one fucking it's just unbelievable. Like to for me to go back, you know, we decided to watch like season 17 so random whatever, and like 7 episodes in a row I'm like this is like just so fucking funny and well written, and you know, so
Well, I guess if it doesn't have like a continual storyline kind of a thing, you can kind of pick it up anywhere, right?
you could. There's like an episode where like D, like the female, thinks she like they all think she's dating like a retarded person, and they were like, you know, so the three guys in the show are like trying to like, you know, we think there's something wrong with him. And then she's like, I think I would know if I was dating a retarded person. And the whole episode is them just basically like trying to like ask him and see if you know, like to test him to see if he is or isn't. and very funny stuff. Very funny stuff. They don't give a fuck. They attack. They're like both sides, both extremes are. So it's not like this one-sided thing. Like anything that's funny, they're gonna go for, and they're gonna give you four different angles.
It's almost like a couple of shows get grandfathered into the new cult, like that in South Park. Like, all right, you guys been doing what you do for this long. Nobody's gonna really bitch that much about it.
South Park, same thing. Never watched it. I've probably seen like four episodes total,
Hmm.
and they're up to like season 27 or something, like something ridiculous. I watched the Trump episode and it was unbelievable. Did you watch it?
Yeah. Yeah, I made
Wow.
my son watch it. I'm like, the ending was wild. That AI.
That ending was unbelievable. Like just unbelievable, you know?
Yeah, they went all in.
Yeah. All right, so hit me with something good.
Let's see. As far as good, I went to see Nobody 2. Uh Big Bob Odenkirk. Bob Odenkirk's one of my favorite entertainers of all time. Mr. Show, fucking all the writing he's done, his books, what he did on Breaking Bad. Like the guy is just incredible. And having him as an action star alongside the RZA and Christopher Lloyd is just it's a fucking treat, man. I was sitting there, you know what, too? Like what I enjoyed so much about it, the same thing we were talking about Happy Gilmore. It was like I like movies that have a deeper meaning when I go to those kind of movies. But then sometimes seeing a comedy or an action movie just be a comedy or an action movie, and that's it, with nothing deep below the surface, just surface, on face value, just a good time and a good watch. And the characters are great, the dialogue is great, it's funny. I might even liked it better than the first one. If you like the first one, there's no reason you wouldn't love this also. It's solid.
Yeah. Uh, you know, like you said, man, there's when I go see something and I get a deeper meaning, like I get it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. For other things, it's like I don't like, yeah, like just give me action, give me violence, give me funny, give me whatever without like the fucking like weird subtext of like, this is
Yeah,
just
it
like,
doesn't all have to make a statement.
yeah,
Everything doesn't have to. And if you do make a statement, make that shit smart and don't treat me like I'm a fucking idiot and
yeah,
like, deliver it so like over my head that it insults me. It
yeah.
makes me hate it right away. But Nobody 2, awesome, good popcorn flick, highly recommended.
I mean, first of all, Christopher Lloyd has to be 100.
He looks great, man. He looks just like he did in the other one. But he was
Okay.
one of those guys who, besides Taxi, like after Taxi, I know he was before, like Back to the Future, when he popped up in Back to the Future with that gray hair. That's kind of just the Christopher Lloyd. I fucking he always looked like 100 years old. And what in
Yes.
Back to the Future, he was probably like what, like 50 something. I don't even know.
So he's 86 now. So he
Yeah.
would
All right.
he would have been 40.
What?
Yeah.
Holy
For,
shit. That's a
be,
fucking mind fuck, man.
because 85, so that's 40 years ago. He was 86. So, oh no, he'd be 46. Duh.
Okay. Still, that's fucking wild,
Yeah, yeah. Pretty
you know?
crazy. Yeah.
But he's great. He's funny. Gets a million good lines.
Well, I just randomly fucking like I was sitting at home and sometimes I get like this like urge to see old movies and
Hmm.
but like random shit. I was like, "Oh, I really want to watch A Fine Mess." You remember A Fine Mess?
I saw your post about it. I mean, I remember the title. I remember the artwork.
I and I brought up
I couldn't recall the film.
Walk Like a Man.
Oh shit. Okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, so A Fine Mess is Ted Danson and Howie Mandel as well. Right? So I'm like, okay, this I think it was like on Tubi and that movie was really fun. It was just like horse racing and mobsters like it was a movie that I would watch all the time. But then when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I'm like, I really want to watch Walk Like a Man instead. which is Howie Mandel,
You
who
wanted a
the
Howie Mandel double feature, which maybe nobody else has been looking for.
no one, but like Christopher Lloyd played his brother in it. So
Hmm.
he's the brother who like pushed him off the sled and like, that's how he disappeared for like 28 years. But Amy Steele is in it from like, Friday the 13th and all that other shit.
Yeah, friend of the show.
Friend, yeah, friend, friend of the show for sure. She's our friend. I don't know if she remembers us, but we'll
She might
take.
not know we were friends, but
Yes, you hear it here first. We were friends with her. Just very silly movie. Like so, like you brought up Christopher Lloyd, and it just he was in it, and he was great, and it's
I
one of
remember one
those.
when he was a mental patient with the fuck was it called? I think it was Michael Keaton and then also.
Oh, the Dream Team.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dream Team.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit he would pop up in.
Peter Boyle, I think, was in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
Uh,
Tubi's good for, baby.
yeah. So Prime as well. Prime, like I always have the urge to watch like, To Live and Die in LA. I was listening to Tarantino talk about this clip, right? And I always forget, but he thinks the 80s, the decade of the 80s was the worst time in movies. Did you ever hear that clip that he
I
made?
did, yeah.
And he's like, there's only, I think it was only five movies that he thought were really good. One of them was The Year of the Dragon, which I love. That was one of my favorite movies with Mickey Rourke.
Mhm.
Um, and then the other one was To Live and Die in LA, 8 Million Ways to Die. It was two other ones that he picked, but it was just like really. And when you see the picks and stuff, you're like, oh, okay, like I could see because it's very much in line with like the stuff that he would make. So
Right.
good stuff. What else? I know, yeah, like I was telling my girlfriend we were going somewhere. I'm like, man, I'm like, I feel like Langdon is taking full advantage of that movie pass.
Yo, it's the shit, dude.
Yeah,
Seriously, man. Do you go to two movies a month?
I think we try to. Yeah,
If you go to two movies a month, it's a no-brainer.
we
Like
try.
that,
Yeah.
it's like $25 a month, and you can go to four movies a week. So it's just been, I try to go at least once a week or something, but it depends on what's out, man. And it seems like things are picking up. Like, I don't know, I'm like, oh shit, I want to see
Yeah.
that. I want to see that. So I wanted to hit him hard. So I hit a double feature last
Hit him with the hind.
Saturday. Don, excuse me. I saw Witchboard, the
Oh
remake
yeah.
of a not so. I don't remember really loving
Yeah.
the 80s one, but I think I texted you. I think Tony Contains Bush, I think was what drove us all to the theater coming out of the shower. Like, to get
I
teenage
never
boy on you.
I never saw Witchboard, uh but I follow the director because he did
He did the
Night
Blob,
at
he did Nightmare on
no
Elm
no
Street
no
3.
no but the original
Oh, the
Witchboard.
old one. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he
Okay.
did he did Night of the Demons.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Same
That's
director, Kevin
pedigree right
Tierney or
there.
something. Yeah.
You
So
know,
he posted about it, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "Who was clamoring for a fucking Witchboard fucking remake?" Uh, you know. Then
power of IP, man.
I guess, but I mean, is that
Even
even?
that,
Is it? Yeah, right. It just like I don't know. It
I
doesn't
guess
seem.
it's the epitome of laziness to get like an IP of something that wasn't that no one's really interested in, but you have like a ready-made kind of outline. Like, I don't know. The only reason I went is because it timed out well with the other film. I'm like, fuck it, it's getting toward it's a little chill in the air in the morning here. Want to get a little horror going on, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, let's hit a horror double feature. And
But
Chuck Russell did it.
Chuck, yeah, who did fucking The Mask, the Blob remake, and Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Three, which was my favorite one. I'm like, let's see, I don't know. Maybe this guy's got, gonna churn something out of this. Who the fuck. But it's not good. It's not really good at all. Um, there's I went on Letterbox before I went. I'm like, let me see if I'm totally wasting my time here because there's bots everywhere on IMDb. Right? This is the great 10 out of 10. You won't believe your eyes. Like I'm like, nobody wrote this shit. So, but people are like, oh, the kills are fun. I'm like, okay, for a horror fan, you know what? I'm used to seeing some shit scripts and some shitty looking movies. But
Yeah.
if you the kills are good, I'm fucking. That's all
I,
I need, baby.
I listen, I sat through the mutilator at least 30 times in my life.
The Mutilator is so much better than. Um, but the kills aren't good, and it's not really gory. It takes a long time to get going. The acting's not good. It's 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 not a good film. It's I wouldn't even, if it's streaming, it's really not worth your time. I've seen worse, but it does nothing for me.
Yeah.
So that I only went because I was going to the late night show of Jimmy and Stiggs, the Eli Roth presents Jimmy and Stiggs, and
What Joe
it was a
Bigos.
night.
Joe
Yes, Joe
Bigos,
Vigos.
who is a mad genius. Did you watch Bliss?
Mm.
Huh?
Yep, I've seen a few of his films.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bliss, Almost Human, and then
VFW,
VFW.
The
Yeah,
Mind's
so
Eye. He's Christmas, Bloody Christmas. He did also.
which I did not like,
I didn't love that one.
but
I
he's
wanted
still
to.
cool. Yeah, he's
Yes.
still like a fucking maniac. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And after the film is over, I mean, I'll get to the film, but like, there's a making of where Eli Roth comes because it's all shot inside this
His
dude's
apartment.
apartment,
Yeah.
and so Eli comes into the apartment and he's saying, "This is where we did this. This is how we did this," and his enthusiasm is you gotta love the guy. He's fucking gorilla making this shit, and
Well, I'll tell you real quick. What happened was because he was on a podcast and somebody wanted to get in touch with Ty West, who I guess Joe's friends with. So he hits up Ty West. He's like, "Hey, this dude's trying to get in touch with you. I'm gonna give him your contact if that's cool." And then I think Ty West was like, "Yo, hit up Eli because he has a production company now, and he was asking about your movie that you're working on." And then from there, he was like, "Oh shit, okay." So then they linked up, and then he talked to him, and I guess that's kind of how it happened. And he was talking about like, he's like, "Yo," he's like, "We shot this in my fucking apartment, which was hectic because I would have to sleep there. So whatever we weren't using, we would have to move all this shit into like one
yeah,
side, sleep there, and then use the other side. So like, I mean, pretty cool."
his apartment's awesome. It's got so much cool shit in it, and it's lit. It's got the wildest lighting that you could do on the cheap, just neons, and the color pattern is great. Uh, it's basically just him and his friend, and I mean, I think the plot is people. It's an alien. I think it's released. I don't
I saw
want
the
to say too
trailer.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So aliens, this guy's like, a drug addict, alcoholic, whatever. He's got a friend that's worried about him. These aliens come at him, and it's completely, like practical effect, puppety sorority babes at the slime bowl bowlerama or a fucking full moon kind of puppetry or something, and them chopping and killing these fucking aliens that have like this neon kind of blood, which is like everywhere. I
That
don't know
makes
what the
sense.
fuck
That makes
he
sense
did to.
because someone said Bad Taste meets Evil Dead 2. So
Totally, definitely, both of those definite influences on here. And the cream of the crop was, first of all, I was glad I saw it at 9:45. The later showing. It was, you're in for like the late show for a horror movie, and there's three dudes in it. We all have occupying our own row respectfully in the middle,
yeah.
like gentlemen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then the movie starts, and they give us two fake trailers, which I'm like, oh shit, this is giving me that grindhouse shit. And
How
the
did you know they were
first,
fake?
I mean, Eli Roth is in the first one in an appearance.
Okay.
And I mean, do you want me to tell you what they are?
Sure.
Okay. The first one is called The Piano Killer. And the guy, and it's like a 70s kind of giallo kind of vibe or something like that. But the killer kills everyone by dropping pianos on top of them,
That's great.
like grand pianos, and like every murder's committed that way, and the cheesy dialogue. So you had to know, and it plus it looked like that old style. And then the second one's called "Don't Go in That House, Bitch," and the whole the whole theater was laughing. All three of us were laughing.
I have you could I just looked up the Piano Killer on YouTube, so it's there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it puts you in that headset and like, okay. I'm like, and then I was just having a great time watching a movie that was like a USA Up All Night movie with the violence in it and getting to see it on a fucking multiplex screen was a treat, because you don't always get to see it, maybe some smaller theaters and all respect to them and stuff, but like it's not often you get to see it in that kind of projection. And I loved it. It was
Very
fun.
cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so man, really slim pickings, but I feel like the movie drops are coming now because I find
Mhm.
myself like looking at the theater and being like, oh shit, like I got to get to this, I got to get to that. I randomly went to go see The Naked Gun.
Yeah.
I had no urge whatsoever because I couldn't imagine it was going to be anywhere on par with the first one when he's wiping the birthmark off of Mikhail Gorbachev's head or like smacking like the fucking like turban off the fucking Ayatollah.
Yeah.
Um, just complete fucking like, it wasn't there was just something like magical about that fucking first Naked Gun movie, and I really think it's Leslie Nielsen. After watching Liam Neeson do his thing, and it's good, but Leslie Nielsen was just his face, his deliveries, like that's why that movie was special because he was so fucking good, and you don't really realize it until you watch someone else do it. Like this is good, but like goddamn, it's it's just like Leslie Nielsen is so good. But anyway, so like my friend wanted to go see it, and we just made like a day of it. I had some like dumplings, and we, it's 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 like a reboot, I guess you can call it, because it's his son,
Mhm.
and the other guy is Ed's son. So he's the guy that's in like all those movies. I feel like
He's in everything.
you know the guy, right? The guy
Yeah,
that
he's the guy that was in the Luckiest Man Alive, in
luckiest
America,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. He's in everything. So it really just was like a remake, but they just called it something else, like with different characters, because it's like the same plot. It's like, all right, you meet a girl and then you're, going up against some like billionaire and all this other shit. But
Mhm.
it was very funny. I watched
Yeah,
it and there was like, did you watch it?
I was gonna go actually yesterday, but I just got tied up and stuff. I'm gonna see it because I heard enough of people whose opinion I respect said,
Yeah.
I know I thought the same thing, but it's not as bad as you would think. And I'm like,
It,
yeah, I'll fucking see it when it streams.
yeah. So if anything, I will say this. It was fun to just go with your friends and we were just like laughing at dumb shit.
Mhm.
I don't know how it's going to play when you watch it by yourself, but there is a 15-minute sequence in the middle of the movie from a dog to a snowman that just I mean that was the price of admission right there, and then the end is pretty good too. So yeah, Naked Gun would not have believed it, but it was pretty good, very funny. I wish they would have leaned a little bit harder with a bunch of shit, like the humor. Like you're just not going to get race jokes anymore, I guess. You're not going to get like that ooh type shit. It's just going to be like,
Nah.
so on that side that's fine, but yeah, I was
Yeah, I
pretty
think,
surprised.
I was hesitant because of the Leslie Nielsen, it's just so special in that role. But also like I'm like, man, it's almost like that the Zuckers like got that style like locked. So if they're not involved, they're writing it. And not that they could because they're older and it changes and shit, you might not be able to, but without their involvement, because they kind of had the airplane, the Naked Gun, the Police Squad, that was their fucking shit, and they knocked it out like every time.
Yeah, like who's killing it now with comedy? Can you think of anyone? Like what was the
Comedies
last?
is Comedy's tough, man. That's the with the way the culture is now and stuff. I don't think people know what they can do or what will play. I think studios are not interested in taking a risk in that fucking field. I think they like nice, safe, whatever, and that's why there are a lot of lackluster shit. But I mean, Friendship, that was probably the funniest movie I saw this year. But that's an odd comedy. Like, not everyone's gonna think that's fucking funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still
I
gotta watch
You
that.
will,
Yeah,
you will, and but that was funny. And otherwise, I did see a movie on Prime called Deep Cover. You heard anything about that?
no,
Bryce Dallas Howard, Orlando Bloom,
you already
the
got me.
guy.
You already got me.
Yeah, big Bryce Dallas Howard fan.
Yeah, I am.
Um, and the guy from fucking Ted Lasso, the fucking his little assistant coach, the short dude.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Um, had no expectation, but people were like, "Yo, this is funnier than I thought it was." It's basically the plot: three improv actors. They get recruited by the police for undercover operate. They wanted them to train the undercover operas and then use them to infiltrate things and shit. Very silly. It's a farce. That would be the way to explain it. But the jokes land. I got a lot of laughs out of it.
Good. It's
But
actually on Amazon Prime now. So like if you have a subscription, you could watch it. I just
yeah,
looked it up now. And The
I
Pickup
enjoyed it.
too. I know The Pickup just came out with Eddie Murphy and Pete Davidson, so I'm kind of curious,
Oh shit, I didn't even know.
yeah, how that goes also. Yeah, right. Happy Gilmore was funny. Anything else? Like really? Like what was like
Horror is running this year. Most of the good movies I've seen this year are horror movies, and I fucking love it. You know,
Yo, I saw a list. I saw a list of like the 10 best horror movies of 2025
Mm,
and everything on there I loved. But
yeah,
um from 5 to 1, I was like you got to be kidding me. 'Cause like they listed the 5 best movies from 10 to 6, like The Monkey was number 6. I was like, "Well,
okay,
what's left?" And I'm
yeah.
like looking and it was just like garbage, like garbage. And like
Like what?
Sinners was number
Uh,
1.
of course.
Hard Eyes was number 4.
Oh, that movie sucked.
Heart Eyes was number 4.
Sucked dicks.
Yeah. Yo, we never talked about did we talk about Drop? That was really good. The reason I
I
remember the
didn't
reason
see that.
reason I'm remembering it now is because Christopher Landon directed that, but he wrote Heart Eyes. And I like Christopher Landon and the stuff he does. Drop was interesting because a lot of people didn't like it. My girlfriend didn't like it, but it's on Peacock and it's pretty good. Like it's kind of like outrageous and like the premise is like kind of like unbelievable, but I thought it was really good. Me and Alaska too. Alaska Tim, like when I told him to watch, he's like, "This movie's fucking awesome." So
I'll give it a shot. I think the
yeah,
trailer annoyed the fuck out of me so much with that vibrating phone, fucking
yeah,
vibrating all loud through the speakers. I was like, fuck this movie. I'm never gonna see it.
yeah,
But
pretty good.
but you know what? I'll check it out because I'm down to see any horror movies.
Um, all right, so you just did the 50th. No, no, what'd you do?
Texas Chainsaw.
Texas Chainsaw, 51 though.
Texas Chainsaw Day.
Right, 74. Yeah, okay,
Yeah, they
yeah.
got a 50th. They got a new repackaging of the. I already have the movie on 4K, so I wouldn't get the new release. I'm not into packaging so much as long as I like a nice slipcover from Vinegar Syndrome, don't get me wrong, but I don't need I don't need my Hellraiser shit in a little square box that I have to make a puzzle to like pop it out. It's cool shit, but I'm not paying an extra $50 for it. But anyway, so I took my son. He had seen it before. We watched it here and shit, but that also played at the AMC. Played it one time, 7 o'clock p.m. Pretty, I think full theater. um, or just about full. Uh, and they played the original film and seeing, I mean, that for me, that's always in my top three horror movies of all time. It's one of my favorites ever. I can never watch it enough. Uh, and getting to see it in that remastered on the screen, and it looked fantastic. When you see a movie that many times, I'm like watching every little fucking the background, the scene in the kitchen where he hangs the girl on the meat hook. I'm looking by the fridge and the sink and seeing like how many dishes are in there. That's how they're kind of analyzing. But when you see it on a big screen like that, you are noticing a lot of shit, that you never saw before. And one thing that blew my mind, and it might have an easy explanation, and how I never noticed it before, I thought about it maybe. Franklin, okay? They call him Franklin. And when they pull up to the gas station, he says they ask about where the Franklin place is. That's his dad's place. So they calling him by his last name the whole time, or is his name Franklin Franklin? This is
uh
what you think about when you've seen this movie about 50 times and now you're watching it.
yeah.
I'm like, how the fuck? What the fuck? Do they
Did you
call him
ask
Franklin?
did you ask your son? Did he have any input on
He was busy eating pretzel nuggets. But
it?
yeah, it was great. And then afterwards there was a sneak preview. There's a documentary coming out, a retrospective about the film, for its anniversary. And they had a short, maybe 10-minute clip of Patton Oswalt um talking about they have it's one of those they're gonna have a bunch of talking heads and shit. And I just listened to his audiobook and he's the super cinephile. That guy like knows his film and shit,
Okay.
and he has a great breakdown about it. And listen, I'll be excited to see that too. I think it comes out in a couple weeks. I think in September.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
don't remember the name of it, but
Yeah. I think, with these movies, after you see them for so long and for so much, anything that comes out related to them that isn't the movie, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. It's like,
yeah,
hey,
I
let's
can't stress enough too when you get that opportunity. Like I saw Hellraiser there too, and I was too young to see any of these things in the theater, or it was. I think Texas Chainsaw came out 73, right? Was it?
I thought it was 74.
Okay. Well, I was born in 73, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like even the first Hellraiser, I wasn't getting to go to that movie. So getting the chance to see it and these Fathom events that they put out, um, they're doing
74.
one they're doing one in October too. They had Devil's Rejects up on the screen, which is Rob Zombie's pretty, his apex right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw Texas Chainsaw at Nighthawk. We would do the
Nice.
Nighthawk thing all the time. Never saw Hellraiser. That would be cool to watch it in a big theater, but um I just, same thing with like Day of the Dead, like I would have done that. But specifically just having that memory of like I'll never forget watching that double feature of A View to a Kill and Day of the Dead. Like just
Yeah.
like all right, cool, I guess. It doesn't make sense, but and I love A View to a Kill. I'll keep
Yeah.
preaching that James Bond word. So before we get to weapons, which we'll close out with, Together. Together was fun.
It was fun. I wasn't expecting much, and I was very, very pleased.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting. I mean, I wasn't even expecting to watch it, but my girlfriend was like, "Let's go see it," and I was like, "Okay, let's go see it." And to me, I'm like, I'll just eat popcorn, and if the movie's terrible, I didn't really have like an urge to watch it. But I loved it. It felt like an episode of Tales from the Crypt
Mm-hmm.
mixed in with the movie The Ruins, which was
Oh
really
shit, that was a
underappreciated.
good movie. Yeah.
Yeah, so it really had that campiness to it, and I love the beginning too because he's a musician, so you have that angle. He's talking about being in a band and then going on tour, and then from there, yeah, like something weird is happening Like when you see I guess the beginning had the dogs and then the rats and all this other shit. And then from there, it was something that was like, I don't want to say it was like heavy-handed, but it was like pretty obvious where it's like, you want to talk about like codependency and like
Yeah.
not having your own life type thing. But it didn't bother me because it was just like, oh
No, I
yeah,
think they did it well. They
yeah,
made the message clear, but respected your intelligence. I felt
yeah.
like I thought it had that, and it had like how like suffocating a relationship could be to the point where what happens at the end, I won't say specifically, to if anybody hasn't seen it and shit. But yeah, we're in like quite the body horror renaissance. Like so I mean other Cronenberg, everybody cites Cronenberg and then rightfully so and shit, but The Substance and a lot of other films, the
I
body
mean,
horror
yeah.
is, you know.
The Substance is just in a universe of its own.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, and this was one of those things because the last 15, 20 minutes was super satisfying. And then you
Yeah.
see like that final frame and you're just like, this is wild. And then you see the neighbor, right? And then you're like, oh, okay, like I see what's going on here. The sex scene was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
So is
cool.
James Franco never going to work again, and we're just going to have his brother now? Is that what's going to happen there?
I don't
What
really
happened
even
to that guy?
I don't
I mean, I know
know.
what happened, but
Do you? What he was like banging
well, he got
students?
accused of a bunch of shit, and there's some
But
inappropriate behavior and whatnot. But then he just like dipped out. Like I never heard. Like Louis C.K. like sat out for a minute and then came back and went at it. But I haven't heard
it's just
nothing about
weird
that
like
dude.
why anyone cares that much. It's like whatever he did and whoever he did it to, that's their business. Let them work it out. Like but I think that's what it
Yeah.
is. Like when you're working in such a like profit driven field, any stink that you might have,
Mm.
it's like, well, we can't, you're an investment, and if we can't get our money back on you,
Sure.
then I guess that's what it is, you know.
Yeah, studios might not want to touch. Studios are real particular. That's why, like, uh, we live in well, John Waters and Todd Solondz can't get a movie made. You know what I mean? It's just like, if the return's not there, there's sorry, you know.
I
You would think
saw
A24 would give like Todd Solondz a movie or something, but he can't get his shit made either.
I recently watched one of his movies. Oh, come on.
I
This
like
was,
all his movies except Palindromes was
oh
the
my.
only one I
How's that possible?
Dark Horse, maybe. Wiener Dog, Life During Wartime.
Something horse movie.
Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I love that guy. He just takes weird swings and shit. I love it.
That was a weird
And
swing.
darkly funny.
Yeah, that was a weird fucking swing. And the way the movie ended, I was just like, oh, huh, okay. Like it was just like very bizarre. So, but it was just a random thing. Like when you look up stuff on like Prime, it'll say, okay, directed by, and then it'll give you other movies. So I was like, oh, let me skim through these like Salons features, and I came across Dark Horse, which is available to watch, and I was like, never even heard of this.
Yeah.
So I watched it.
Yeah, he just went quiet. Speaking of Prime, I had to see if it was as bad as everyone was talking about. And then my son wanted to watch it with me because we like watching a bad movie here and there. But I watched War of the Worlds, the Ice
Okay.
Cube movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, we're gonna watch this until it's too ridiculous. And it's as bad as everybody says. It's atrocious. Everything about it's bad. It's ridiculous. The dialogue's bad. Ice Cube's pretty much shot the movie in a closet. They probably had him for like an afternoon. Uh, he buys a drone off of Amazon basically and saves the world with it. It's like, and then people are saying, it's they did this to get the clips forwarded around of this ridiculous shit to promote probably because there's Amazon drops all in this fucking movie. And they think they made it some that's a theory that it was made this bad on purpose to get shared around and shit. Because it's basically like an Amazon commercial. Either way, it's fucking horrible. It's as bad as everyone says, but a lot of laughs, unintentional laughs in it at how stupid it was.
That would be brilliant, to do something like that.
It could be,
Yeah.
fucking
Especially
Amazon. It's the
especially
biggest of the biggest marketing, whatever the fuck. It's a machine.
especially if nobody told him.
Yeah, I
Uh
was desperate. The first thing I was looking up, I needed to know, and I couldn't get an accurate figure. I'm like, what did Cube get for this movie? Because you never know when you read budgets and this and that, what's accurate and what's not.
yeah.
But it cost a lot more than you would think.
Hmm. But it's basically like like it's a remake, right? It's like the same thing, same story, same like
He works for the government, and he's in front of a computer. The whole thing shot like from his like the view of his fucking computer screen,
okay.
like a laptop, like that fucking movie. Not Megan is missing. Missing, I think it was, where the guy's daughter was missing, and he was went on her Facebook and it trying to track down where she was. I think it was called Missing, um, but it basically takes place on her computer and him getting the clues together. That movie kind of worked. This is just it's like the same thing. Cube's just sitting in a chair the whole time, just being like, "Sit down." Like it's fucking terrible, man.
All
So bad.
right.
Yeah.
All right, did we clear everything out except weapons,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much, man. I
Pretty
think
much caught up on everything, right?
yeah, that's pretty much what I've seen in the theaters anyway.
Uh so he's having a problem with this link. Hmm. What the
Wow.
fuck? She's having a problem.
I decided that I'd never want to see the bear again. It's not a movie, but you ever try
TV
that
show.
show?
I there was no uh okay, got it. Um I watched a few episodes of it and I wanted to like it just because it had Refused in it and it had Wilco in like the first like 10 minutes and I was like, "Oh, this is cool," but it just seemed like the brother was like a douche and it was just a lot of yelling and I was just like, "Okay, whatever." Like
Yeah,
it didn't really
it's
like
atrocious.
yeah, it didn't really appeal to me, but like I get it. I get it. So,
When
uh
it was good, and then it got to the point I was like, man, I think I'm at that point. Everybody comes to certain shows sometimes and like, you know what? I just don't care
you
anymore.
tapped out. What
I'm
season?
done. I just watched the first one. I thought was good, but people said it was so great. I went back in. Second season was incredible. Third season was not good. This season was not good.
Okay.
And I think I did that with Shameless too. That other guy, the other show, that fucking dumb faced motherfucker. I know he's Mr. Heartthrob, but I just want to hit him.
So hard, so hardy. We're talking about the bear, Jacob.
I was just gonna say, you talk about my old neighbor, Jeremy Allen White, who used to live around the block from me here in
Get
Oh,
Park.
out of here.
Yeah.
he didn't price you
Any
out?
interactions?
When he was on Shameless, yeah, like I would see him in the local bars. I saw him in the pizza places. He used to walk he had an old dog that he used to walk in a little red wagon.
Oh, very cool.
He like grew up around here. He was, soft spoken, but he was a nice dude.
Very cool.
One of those guys who you see on TV and you're like, oh, he's kind of funny looking, but then you see them in real life and you're like, what a beautiful man. Had that with Steve Buscemi, No Lie, another famous Park
Yeah.
Slopean, where like
Yeah,
on camera he looks like crazy, but you see him in real life, it's like I'm captivated by this man.
yeah, yeah. That's awesome. All right, welcome in, Jake.
Thank
You
you.
want
Sorry for all
you?
the hassle getting in here.
No, it's fine. You wanted to join us in our conversation of our last topic, which is the movie Weapons. Super polarizing at the moment. People seem to really fucking love it, really hate it, which is good, right? Like that's what you want, right? It made fucking about a buck 50 at the fucking box office right now, which is probably the biggest horror movie or one of the biggest movies of the year. I loved Barbarian, which was his last movie.
Me too.
Langan, you liked it too, right?
Loved it.
Okay. Some people didn't like that either. Jake, did you like Barbarian?
Oh yeah, loved it. I mean,
Uh,
even just for the sake of an original take.
Yeah, it was
It's
just
like I
fucking
love the movie, but even still, just like, oh, this is like a fresh idea at the very least.
fresh
Mhm.
idea. And what I really liked about it was like there was so much mystery around the movie, and then when you watch it, you're like, this is kind of a straightforward story. Like it's just told and shot very weird and very cool with a very cool beginning. But at the end of the day, it's just like this is just like inbreed murder and fucking like,
I
home
like that
invasion.
there's like he has like a misdirect a little bit too. Like I thought, like I remember with that film and this film, where I think I know where it's going. Oh, it's going to be this kind of horror, but then by the end, it's like completely somewhere completely different than I thought the whole film was going to go. And I felt that way watching Weapons at points where I was like, there was a couple of spots where I'm like, all right, where's this going here? Okay, like it's are we getting I'm getting a little dry on some horror here or whatever. They're setting the table or whatever, but I'm like, okay, with Barbarian, he was building to something. I'm like, I feel like this is gonna pay off. This guy's gonna pay this off. And for me, he
Yeah.
did.
And I feel like that's like also there's I mean, I've watched some interviews with the guy. I'm like really intrigued with, his burgeoning film career and what he's about to do and his process. And one of many interesting things I found out while looking into that was his like meticulous management of expectations through not specifically not cutting trailers that show too much, that
Yeah.
have too much of the story in it, limiting press, like as far as what can be talked about, making sure his actors like have like, I don't think he's policing people's speech or anything, but it's clear that like he wants people to go into these movies as blind as possible,
Yo,
and I
yeah.
mean, love that.
I gotta say, I was gonna mention the trailer for the movie. That's what got me excited because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but it seems like something wild is going on.
Yeah,
Uh, and I'm like, I just got excited for the trailer, which is very hard to do. Sometimes, I mean, really, like the movie theaters are just punishing you with trailers now in the very
yeah.
beginning. Like one or two, three tops, maybe. Now you're getting like eight, and they're showing you the whole fucking movie. So when the trailer came out for this, I was very excited. I will say this: I went to go see it, and the Justine story, which I didn't know was a story. I just thought like we're watching this movie. I'm like, okay. I didn't really like. I thought the movie was gonna just like blast off right away, but I didn't know what it was about. And then it got like I was just like watching this first story, not knowing it was the first story. I was like, man, I'm like, all right. I'm like, this is kind of like slow. Like, all right, I get like, it's weird. Like the kids are gone. That mystery was interesting. It's like, well, how's this kid still here? Then it got to Josh Brolin, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, now we're gonna get his angle. And then you see his what I love about it is like the same story from those different angles, which Freaky Tales just did recently, and certain movies like that where you just have like that different point of view. And once that set into play, I was like, okay. And then he starts making that map. I was getting excited because I was like, what is going on here? Right. So you guys felt the same?
Dude, he's doing what like the choice to tell the different stories from the different POVs with like the name title cards. Like I had, the similar thing. I love a slow burn. I love like a Lynchian film, like to use a pretentious term, but like there was just this like kind of slow building out narrative and relationships all under the umbrella of these kids are missing and that's fucking weird. And
Yeah.
you're just kind of marching towards it. And at some point, I'm like, there is a feeling of like, oh, when is like, is there going to be like a kick in kind of moment or a catalyzing moment? But like you said, once he starts drawing those lines on the map, I'm like, oh, this is what he's doing with these different name cards. He's
Yeah.
saying, here's the Justine line, here's the Josh Brolin's line. He's lining it up, and it's like letting us know from a storytelling perspective, like this is going to pay off if you. It's like David Lynch came around in an era where you probably had more rope to tease people through a slow burn, but now attention spans are as limited as possible. And it felt as if he's kind of going like, bear with me, guys. Like, I'm
Mm.
building the foundation here so that when it all coalesces, it's explosive. And I felt like that worked 100%.
Yeah. Langan?
Yeah, no, this same thing I was thinking. Like I had faith in the director, you know what I mean? Like I really don't need like I'm not a big trail. I see a lot of trailers because I do go to the movies a lot and shit, but a lot of times too, like if I'm seeing two horror movies there the same week and I see right on the thing it says the movie's going to start 20 they say 20 to 25 minutes after the time that they have to like I don't know if they have to, but they do put that out as a courtesy. I'm like, I know I'm going to see the same fucking trailers. I'm just going to roll in late and
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? So I didn't really see a lot of trailers, but like I do in this era too. With certain directors, that an Aster or him or what, I get them on my radar. I have a list. I always check to see what they're doing. And for me, like, okay, this guy's got a new movie out. I'm going to see it. You know what I mean? I want to see what he has. It's a horror movie. I like that first one. Let's see what he's got. That's all I need to go. You know what I mean? So I didn't really, I mean, I'm sure I saw the trailer, but I didn't have a memory of it going in. Because I think with people that saw a lot of the trailer not liking the film, they didn't think it was horror enough, Sam. Was that what you were hearing? Or
No, 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 no. I think what it was is, yeah, I think, listen, it's always going to be hype. Like I'm trying to think of like the criticism that I saw, and I think maybe that's what it was. Maybe they wanted like something more, like I'm trying to think of like Sherry and like certain people that posted on Facebook about it.
she wanted
Um
sharks in it.
She would have loved a fucking shark. Oh, we didn't even talk about dangerous animals. We'll talk about it some
Oh,
other
yeah,
time. I
next time.
forgot.
Yeah. I'll
Next
watch it
time.
again and we'll
Yeah.
talk about
But
You didn't see
yeah.
the Sharknado that breezed through the backyard real quick, quickly now?
it. I wouldn't have been mad at it.
I, but yeah, I think what happens, and it's always gonna happen, just when a movie gets so much adoration. And listen, when I left the theater, I said to myself, I had to like digest it because I'm like, that fucking ending, first of all, was like that was a lot to take in 20
Wow.
minutes. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. And I'm like, wait, and I'm like, this is just wild. So I had to like digest it and think to
Fucking
myself.
hilarious.
But I was like, to me, I'm thinking like, I don't know if I loved it or liked it, but I will tell you that was very unique from the stories. Then you get to her, the cop guy, and like his angle.
Mhm.
Then you get to the homeless kid. By the homeless kid, I was like, this is fucking wild. And then you start seeing the image of course, Amy Madigan's character, and you're just like, what is this?
I've never
You
been
know?
so scared of like a fluorescent grandma in my life.
Oh
Yeah,
my God,
like
she was so
you're just
creepy.
like, what the fuck? It's like Carrot Top in a microwave, basically. Just
And I'm
like,
trying to think like, who is this person? I know this face. I know this face. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the mom from Field of Dreams.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like this is
Yeah.
fucking me up completely.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so like when I left there, I just thought to myself, at the end of the day, this guy made a really fucking unique movie, that was just like really good, like
He
super
told the tale in
interesting.
a sorry.
Yeah, no,
Go
he
ahead.
told it, he
Finish.
told a tale in a way that just made it interesting. Like,
He did it
you're
in a linear
like,
fashion. I
yeah,
don't think it would have had you wouldn't have remembered it as much. Like it was still a creative, interesting, original story, but doing it in that manner, I think makes it stand out from
Totally.
other horror films.
And like done so well too. Like that was the big standout for me was like, wow, this is how you tell a story. Like this is so well plotted out. And I mean, when we want to talk about the ending, like if you're like, I was literally laughing and tearing up at the same time. How do you achieve that? When he's hugging his catatonic parents and it's cutting to the kids chasing her down the lawn, I'm like, wow, you really got me there. Like
That shit
that
was
that's
so
no
funny.
small feat to be able to do that.
And
I didn't think I was going to be laughing in that movie, and I was
So
fucking
funny.
laughing,
And like
straight
the
up
theater,
laughing.
was the theater for you guys too? Like the theater was laughing, like
Yeah.
uproariously. It
yeah,
wasn't just
yeah.
giggles here and there.
I had a packed theater. And what I found with the emotion of that whole ending sequence was like you kind of wanted them all to get their revenge, and you wanted him to find Brolin to find his son. You wanted him to get his parents back. And like when everything happened, it was like this like really big like exhale of like I'm like, oh shit. I'm like their ordeal is over, as
Yeah.
weird as it was. And then once you break down, obviously, I'm going to put, we're talking, we didn't spoil anything else, but we'll spoil weapons because, that's what we have to spoil it. This is for the people that saw it. When you finally get to the point where you're like, oh, this motherfucker, this is what happened. Like, he just, Aunt Gladys playing with the emotions of just like, fucking like getting like this energy from the parents, and when she starts them like stabbing themselves in the face with the fucking fork,
At the
I'm
dinner
like,
table in front of the
yo,
kid. Ooh.
I'm like, what the fuck, and then I knew she was gonna need more. I mean, just that part of it is so, once again, like Tales from the Crypt, or like just something like very like, super campy, where she just needs that energy. And she's like, bring me all your classmates. And it's like, you fucking evil bitch. It's fantastic. They all fucking ran to her, and then they were all in that goddamn basement, and
And we
just
find out just from that junkie kid, the most innocuous character, just going, "Oh yeah, I know where the kids are. They're all in the basement."
yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. That's your big reveal. Like, whew.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, just unbelievable stuff. Like you said, if you told it, I mean, it still would be good, but it's like Pulp Fiction, where you're like, okay, like this
Totally.
story could have worked, but now you're just like messing up with this timeline, and you're piecing it all together, and it's just like this the beauty of filmmaking, and the shit that keeps you, you know going back to the theater, and that's what it was. By the time I got to the Brolin character and he starts like connecting the dots, I was just like, okay, like I get what's going on here, and then we
Mhm.
got to the third, third, fourth, and fifth, and you're just like, wow. And then the fucking like, like the principal,
Mhm.
shout out to that hot dog tray, absolutely banging.
Was a tribute to his he was in that show Whitest Kids You Know with that comedian Trevor Moore who died
Yeah.
recently. And
Oh, I
apparently that
didn't.
hot dog tray is an inside joke between the two of them. And that was
That's
a tribute to him.
unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
Wow.
idea.
And like this
That's
is the part of his like again, I've been like, curious. I've been like, not super seeking out, but I've heard some interviews with this guy and he's talked a lot about his process and how he's just kind of willing to be a conduit for ideas that are out there rather than having like the Ari Aster kind of textbook approach. He's like, when I started writing this movie, I just like sat down with nothing and eventually was like, oh, what if like a teacher comes into a class and all her kids are gone? And like that's
Mhm.
all he had. And he just sat there and banged it out and worked it out and let the ideas come and wrote them down. And through editing and through just being open to inspiration, the story he tells the story as it revealed itself to him. And then, we know he comes from this sketch comedy background.
Yeah.
And he also speaks about how once it came to Alex's story, how he was in his household, his father became an alcoholic. And he was like, I lived in this house where all of a sudden, I had a family, and then all of a sudden my dad became scary and somebody who I didn't know, but I couldn't really tell anybody about it, and I didn't have the language for it. So here's a guy from a comedy background doing horror, being open to just whatever ideas come to him. And we have this huge just confluence flush of stuff from deep within him, stuff that makes him laugh, stuff that looks disturbing, stuff that's references to other movies. There's like, I heard an interview with him where he was talking about the scene with the scare on the ceiling. and how he's like, oh yeah, man, Exorcist 3. And I'm like,
Oh
oh,
yeah,
so this guy's like, he's filtering everything
Yeah.
and just
right.
letting it happen. And that approach, it's how you get a movie like this. It's how you balance just being kind of open and organic with it, and also like being able to edit and notice what's good and plug everything together. And like, that's how you get a fucking original idea that really works.
Yeah, and with the two things that he did for sure, and it's funny, when you mentioned like Ari Aster, who did Eddington? Was that
Sorry,
Aster?
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
Did you liked Eddington, right? I didn't watch it yet.
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
it's one of my
Langan.
favorite movies of the year.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
pumped for it, but it left theaters around here a little too quickly.
There was walkouts.
Oh,
It's
even even
with
more hype for it after that.
which yeah, I enjoy that when
I
because
had I had walkouts
it's
during the
it's
substance.
it's got a lot of uh like I won't reveal shit about it, but it's reflecting of our current climate, political, social climate there is. And there was like this old boomer dude, couple of seats from me, and it's really equally it's slamming everything that needs to be slammed. And this guy was like all into it when they were slamming like one side or making digs at one side, and then as soon as they went the other way, he walked
Uh,
out. And but I had some of the biggest laughs I've had at the theater in this movie. It's fucking funny. But
Unbelievable.
everybody, I thought it would be really like, I don't know. I'm a big Astor fan. I like him a lot. Um, I didn't know what to expect in there, but it's really everybody gets it. Everybody gets a little digging where they need to be dug. And
that's
yeah,
awesome.
it didn't, I don't think it made it. I think it was a week. I think it was at my AMC, I think.
I have
It's
to
actually
imagine he
it's at
knew that that was going to be a tough sell, as far as broad appeal.
it's at home
Oh
now,
yeah.
so I'll
I think
watch
it'll
it.
do good, maybe streaming and shit. It's also the length sometimes turns people up. I even like you know, I had that movie pass and shit, and I was gonna hit in the I was gonna see F1. They brought it back to the IMAX, but I'm like, man, do I want to see a fucking 3 hour race car movie? I don't think I do. I don't care how
These
good it
left
looks.
turns you got to see.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't think I'm gonna go. So I think that movie. I don't remember the runtime on Eddington, but I think it was tickling three, right around there, 3 hours, maybe two and a half, two forty
Whoa.
five. I don't know, but I think that's a turn off to it
It's
in
two
this
and a
era,
half.
right?
Two and a
I don't
half.
know. I'm here to say, like, give me more movie. Like, all I hear is like, oh, 90 minutes, great. Oh, the shorter the better. And like, I get it. People got shit to do, but maybe it's just a testament to how, unpacked my schedule is. But like, man, if you're a good movie, give me a fucking movie, man.
It's a good
I'll
movie,
watch a
and
two and a half
but
three
when
hour
you
movie
see
if it's
shit
doing
that
it.
you're like, you know what? Did you need that in there? It doesn't always have to be 2 hours. Sometimes I
Sure.
think Roger Ebert said something like, a good movie is never too long, and a bad movie is never too over quick enough.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
And that kind of makes sense.
What the hell did I just watch recently that was long and I didn't like? Man, I wish I remembered. But anyway, what do you think
Like a
Clearly
man,
did make an
the
impression,
director's cut
whatever it
of
was.
Walk Like a Man.
Nah, Walk Like a Man was killer.
Walk like a man. You talking the Howie Mandel movie?
Director's cut is
Yo,
so
I
the
so
2.5 hour cut.
you're yeah. I was talking to him before because like I went on Facebook and I talked about I found a copy of Walk Like a Man like 2 days ago and I posted about it because I was just in the mood. I was like, yo, I haven't seen Walk Like a Man in fucking for so long.
There's a reason for that.
I was gonna watch A Fine Mess or another Howie Mandel movie, Walk Like a Man. So I went with Walk Like a Man. I mean, that's a sweet 80 minutes right there. But the title Weapons, like where the fuck does that come from? Did anyone get any like information
Think
on
it's
that?
the same thing as
She's
like
using them as
barbarian
weapons,
means
right?
nothing.
Because like
Yeah.
he like when Brolin had that dream, there was like a gun over his house.
Yeah, the one part I didn't really. I'm like,
She's
I
using
just
the
don't like.
children as her weapons,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
guess would be the the tie-in, but yeah, vague, but
I
But
didn't
just like
even look into it because I remember when Barbarian came out, people being like, "What the hell does the title mean?" And I got it as just like, "Oh, like I think he just picked a word that he liked that would
yeah.
be in the script and kind of give you a vibe." And I like that take that it's like, oh, the weaponry is the mind of these kids and stuff. But I didn't even question it
He's
because
like, let's title it
same
Conan
thing.
the Barbarian, but we already have it. So like
funny.
Barbarian.
I
Gonna be
speaking, I was
destroyed.
saying before, I went to see Texas Chainsaw at the theater for the anniversary, and they played I was telling Sam before, they played a sneak preview of the documentary coming out about it, and they have some
Oh
talking
shit, I
heads, and
didn't know about that.
they had Patton Oswalt and as the sample clip. And Patton Oswalt, they put a clip of his bit where he's talking about the vague titles of movies and how come, like, and he's giving these
Oh, I
silly
remember this
examples, the
bit.
so and so. But he's like, the best title ever, 3 words: Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's like,
Yeah.
there's no like this. What's this movie about?
This is where it happens. This is what it happens with. This is what it does.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
All right, so we loved weapons and
I'm glad
I
to hear that we all liked it. Like when I asked if you guys were talking about it, maybe it's just testament to having done a couple episodes with you guys where I'm just like, oh man, like is Langan gonna hate this movie?
I know I'm such a grump.
well,
No,
you're the
because
one you're
there was something I remember you
You
liked
were you
Halloween
were
Kills
on
the piece I
Beetlejuice
did,
too,
and then we did
Beetlejuice 2,
Beetlejuice
and
2 and 28 years later, and I'm like, oh, this guy is unpredictable.
yeah.
yeah,
Yo,
that's one way to put it. But you
people
did your selling of 20. I'm watching that again. I'm gonna watch that again because you made some really good points
Oh, thank
Jake,
you.
in it.
Jake,
I
Jake.
still don't like
What
Beetlejuice too, but
Jake, when
And
we
that
were
I don't knock you for that. I said it enough times. That movie is empirically a bad film.
yeah.
Yo, so when we were done, like he goes like this, he's like, he might have changed my mind 20 years
Oh, look
later.
at that. They owe
He's
me a
like,
For
commission.
real. I'm an open-minded person. I'm like, I'm seeing it in a different way. I'm like, I want to see it again through like different eyes. You know what I mean? Because
through
listen,
Jake's
a lot of
eyes.
time, yeah, listen, a lot of times too in a movie, like you go into the right movie at the right time with the
Yeah.
right headset, it might feel different than you watch it another time if there's something there. And then there's some movies where I'm like, I don't want to see this ever again.
And even like a 20, even the fact that it's a sequel so far, I mean, you're carrying baggage into it from movies that you have already have a relationship with. Like, it's part of the reason why I was questioning it if you were going to like this film or not. Because I mean, it was just a cheeky thought I had, obviously, but it was like in an age where I feel like, especially a movie like this, like anything that's kind of, shooting for the fences as far as originality and creativity, you are just begging contrarians to like broadcast their fucking takes to the hilt. And you are clearly somebody who like is watching the movie. Like it's you are not a hater for not liking a movie. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference between trolling and objective watching. And so like that's why I was curious. I'm like, oh, this really could go either way. If I thought you were a hater, I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to hear what he picks out of this to
Well, and
tell me why it sucks, you know?
I'm an
the
enigma.
the thing is like I go into everything wanting to love it, Like I don't
Yeah.
go in,
And,
I never go into anything being like, this is gonna be fucking terrible. I can't wait to hate it. I go in being like, man,
That would be insane.
some
Like
people
you
do it.
paid money
people do
going
it.
like
I
to
th-
this
People
thing
do
and
it,
spending your
man.
time. Like I
That
always want to like it.
the rage
it's
bait era, man.
that's
People really get off
No,
on
that's
that.
what it
you ain't
is,
kidding.
man. When
Yeah.
you
They're
don't
watching the movie and crafting the take they're going to throw into some random comment section before the fucking lights even come up.
when you don't have
Mm.
a band or you don't have an outlet or you don't have these things that like like maybe you're not a creative or something and you go to social media and all you have is like criticism and somebody gives you 20 likes, like that's your boner pill for the day,
Hmm. Hmm.
But
where
it's
you're like,
never like we're having here, like what I didn't care for 28 years later. I learned some things. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna check this out because it was through a conversation, not just like I hate this movie because blah blah blah. A
Yeah.
bunch of people write in, yeah, it's whatever. That's not a conversation. You're not gonna learn anything from that shit.
Yeah. And the
You
amount of
know,
movies that I've seen once and then seen a second time, and like you said, like maybe under different circumstances or in like a different light or with a little more consideration, and had completely polarized reactions. Like I told you, I know you guys hated I saw the TV Glow, but after I
Mm.
was done watching that movie, I'm like, that movie fucking sucks. I was like mad at how much I didn't like it, and I couldn't stop thinking about it for like days. And I turned around, and when it came on cable and I watched it again, I'm like, oh, I actually fucking love this. Complete fucking polar shift. I mean, this is
There,
what happens when you're open to it, when you just
Sure.
love these things, when these things mean something to you. You know, they can do it. It comes from a real place, and the real place where we live is constantly fluctuating.
yeah, yeah. There was a
For
moment,
you for giving another shot. I don't think I'm gonna, but
yeah.
No, I'm not saying any. You know, it's
people
I
that love that movie will
like it.
defend that movie like vehemently. They have a
I
passion. That movie has a passionate fan base.
it sounded
It's
it,
speaking directly to a lot of like,
Absolutely,
disenfranchised
totally.
people, but
Yes,
somebody like me who couldn't be less disenfranchised societally, I still got what I got from it, you know?
right, right.
yeah, 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 for sure. It's like, I get it, especially
It's good.
from that side of you. Like, okay, I fuck with this. I get it, but
Yeah, and it
goddamn.
didn't come through it, and it came through talking about it and thinking about it and being curious, like all the things that you want to believe digesters of any kind of creative medium are. But unfortunately, there's just too many outlets. And like you said, Sam, too much of a dopamine hit for the hot take.
But
Mm.
also, some people just have these like streaming sites, and they'll, especially Netflix. Netflix gives you so much, and you could just be scrolling, being like, all right, I'm gonna watch this movie that I don't give a fuck about, and then you watch it, like this is the worst movie of all time, but it's like you didn't even want to watch it to begin with.
Yeah.
So like, but like, that's what it is. It's like you have your yeah, I guess that's what it is. We're all Siskel and Ebert now, we
I
just
think
have
it
that.
helps too to see shit in the theater, man, too, because like I'm a
Agreed.
cinephile, die hard, but listen, uh, you know, I'm not above grabbing my phone or it goes off and
I don't,
distractions that
yeah,
happen at the house and stuff. But when you got that phone turned upside down and then you're sitting there
yeah.
with this thing in front of you and it's got something to say, you might pick up on shit that you might,
I
Yeah.
gotta
And
put I gotta put the
get.
phone like in another room
Yeah.
because I gotta fucking pay attention. Because other than that, it's like shit goes off and it's like I'm not even like I'm like I it has to be far away from me. Otherwise, I'm like I hear it and I'm like, oh, I gotta go, answer this email or text or whatever.
Sometimes it isn't even me answering an email. It's like I'm on IMDb looking up shit about
Oh,
the
who is
movie
this
and how
person?
they make it. Who
yeah,
is that guy?
what are
What
they
was that?
from?
Oh, trivia. When did this come out? What did this make in Bulgaria? Like what I'm fucking my mind starts like racing. I'm like, you're not watching it, dude.
And
Yeah.
Weapons is a perfect example. I was telling people after I saw it, the few people I got to talk to about it after I saw it was like, this is the reward of the theatrical experience, man. People were laughing out loud together. You could feel tension when the tension was created. There were genuine jump scares. You could hear the gasps. The end of the movie, like when once again it's this huge deluge of different emotions of laugh and cry and scared and what the fuck. And like you said, Sam, like we have like a happy ending essentially, and then
Mm.
everybody comes back, but they all come back fucking damaged. And you have to kind of reckon with there's so much happening that like to experience that in the theater with, like you said, the lights are off. Everybody can see you when your fucking phone starts glowing, so you know not to pick it up. Your periphery is completely uh, encompassed by the film you're watching. Like you don't get that elsewhere, and that this is a perfect opportunity to remind yourself of the value of that experience.
Um,
Amen.
all right, so wrapping up here before we leave, I just want to ask you, Jake, anything else that you saw this year that you wanted to maybe like shout out? Maybe we missed some movies that you enjoyed.
Huh. New movies. I mean, this and 28 Years Later are topping my list, and they happen to be the ones you guys have been kind enough to let me ramble on about. Um,
Any TV shows, anything that you've been really enjoying lately that you want to shout out?
I mean, I fucking loved Superman.
Did you? Yeah.
Fucking loved Superman. I saw it twice.
Yeah.
Uh,
I just recently watched it.
yeah, I was really hype on that, but like I know I'm a little more into that stuff.
But did you grow up with like the Christopher Reeve stuff?
I did, yeah, and
Mm.
you know, I'm also an avid comic reader,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
and
You're
had
about
been
that
for
life.
many years. I mean, not so much anymore. Like I got, you know, you hit a critical mass at a certain point when you see how much you're spending on this shit, and how much they're encouraging you to spend more. You know, they're like, "Hey, man, people don't read. We need people to buy this shit." But yeah, I really I thought that movie was pretty spectacular. I'm drawing a blank on anything else that was brand new that I really liked. Um, but I mean, it's out there. I'm watching movies all the fucking time, you know,
Yeah.
like uh,
I will leave you with this. I will say my favorite movie of the year is still The Monkey. Nothing has taken the
Monkey I
mark.
liked. It finally came on
On Hulu.
Disney Plus, and
Yes.
I was looking forward to that, and it did not disappoint whatsoever. I like that a lot. You also in our last episode we did together mentioned Companion, which I
Yeah.
watched and was really good. I was
How good
really
was that?
hyped
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
That was a really well done, like, you know, small but well told sci-fi kind of story.
Yeah. A
I really
curveball.
liked that one a lot.
Another one that we loved, which will be my number three movie so far, Dangerous Animals.
I
Uh,
haven't seen that one yet, but I am fucking hyped for it. Fucking not to drop another name, but I don't know. Maybe he was filming something, or maybe he lives in the area. But there was a time where every weekend at my Williamsburg spot, I was seeing Jai Courtney at the bar nonstop, and dude is rad as hell.
yo, he is
Really
fucking
nice dude, really
he
friendly, down to earth, like
yo
behind
he rules
people.
this
Great.
movie.
He's great. And it's,
He
I think Sam made I think on social media it said something about Wolf Creek meet. What did
it
you,
was like Wolf
the
Creek
analogy?
meets like I think I said Wolf Creek meets like a shark or something. Like I don't know.
It's like, dude,
So
Yeah,
you
or
turn on
something, but
Amazon,
like
how many
perfect.
fucking shark movies are there in the world? Do you know what I mean? I saw one called Toilet Shark, man. These things exist.
well
And to have a
this
good shark
You
movie, man,
take all the
oh my
shark
God.
movies ever made, probably 10% are watchable.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, if even. And this one looks
Once
like
you take Jaws out the mix and a couple of the big dogs and shit, there's so many shark
Well,
movies. I
because
mean,
this
fucking
movie is
holy shit.
beyond sharks, right? Dangerous Animals is
There's
beyond
more
sharks.
than that.
It's
Yeah,
just it almost has nothing to do with sharks.
yeah,
But
it seems like the sharks are just a murder weapon and it's about a
totally.
yeah,
killer.
so
Totally.
it just very character driven. The guy, the director of The Loved Ones, which was a really cool movie from like a few years back.
Shark
Uh,
adjacent, I
Sharky
think.
Jason, yeah. So, but all right, Jake. It's been fun. We've been here for a while, so
Yeah, man.
let's just cut it out here. So, anytime you want to come back on,
Thanks
we
for
love having you.
continuing to have me, guys. I really love
Yeah.
talking about movies with you. It's like it's always feels so good to be talking about people who match your excitement level on these things.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just somebody in a group of people who are just like, oh, okay, and you're just like, oh, but you gotta.
Nah, yeah, nah, no.
We
We're
never know how many people listen and stuff, but all I know is like I'm like I need this outlet so I don't punish like everyone else in
yeah,
my
yeah,
my personal
yeah,
life. Sam will listen to this shit.
Yeah, man, I
yeah.
always leave these streams feeling really satisfied, and I thank you guys for that.
Yeah, man.
I'll end up punishing my girlfriend. I'll be like, I'm like, well, listen, like I had to explain to her the importance of the Police Academy franchise, and she's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, all right.
Oh, and you're in a band too.
Boys.
That poor girl.
All right, cool.
Uh,
Guys,
thanks, man.
peace.
I
Peace.
mean,